Popcorn Junkies!
Hurrah!
We're back, what a busy weekend. And we're reviewing The Invisible Man, starring Elisabeth Moss. Now, this has come from Universal Pictures. Universal are known for a genre of films called the monster films, where they did Frankenstein, who James Whale directed, The Invisible Man, Werewolf, Dracula, I think as well. So all those kind of conventional monsters, they're sort of classics. And this is The Invisible Man, which is like a modern reversion, obviously, of the original story by
H.G. Wells.
God, I wondered whether you knew for a minute
No.
Which, if you watch our Sunday show, NADIA gives a very, very, very serviceable review of the book.
Oh, thank you for that.
Kiki, had you seen the trailer for this?
Yeah, I reviewed it.
Oh, you had reviewed it. So you were excited about this?
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about it.
You forgot about it?
I only remembered when she started talking about the book again. But I thought it was coming out on like Amazon or something. And
Yeah, I know. Oh, right. I see a sort of straight to video type of
but
thing.
then when you said you see it on Friday, I kind of got excited.
Yeah. I must admit, I thought the trailer was incredibly inventive, so I was kind of already quite excited.
I was very excited.
Yeah, I was encouraged by how inventive it looked like they were going to be with it. Because therein lies the problem. All I remember of the Invisible Man ever on telly or at the cinema was a man wrapped in bandages, smoking a fag with glasses on and a trilby.
Yeah, because how else could they show the invisibility?
Isn't that weird that the only way you can show invisibility is to make him visible?
Yeah.
Isn't that? Think about
And there were
that for a
moments
minute.
where he
Think
took
about
his
that.
bandages off where he was invisible, but they could only do that for seconds.
Yeah, exactly. But think about that again. It's a total contradiction.
It is
The
a
only
total
way the Invisible Man can be seen or understood is if he's visible.
Exactly.
And I think, do you see what I mean? It's kind of like...
It's a conundrum.
It's not only a conundrum, it's just made my brain have a small seizure.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute, whilst this sound happens. This stars Elisabeth Moss. What do we think of Elisabeth Moss? You probably know her, Kiki, from
Us, I think.
Us.
Oh, no, she's done something else.
Yeah, The Handmaid's
Handmaid's
Tale,
Tale.
but you haven't seen that. But she was great in Us, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She played the mentalist white woman of the white family who gets done in.
Yeah.
What do you like her from?
I like her from everything. I've just been a huge fan for
Do
ages.
you have a crush on her?
An absolute crush. I mean, I think she's brilliant. I think she's so good at her craft.
Yeah.
She's not conventionally attractive, and yet I can't take my eyes off her
What
when she's
facial
on
feature
screen.
do you like best of hers?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. And,
I like her nose.
But the thing that wedded me to her in a way was the original series, not the one since, of A Handmaid's Tale. She has to emote a lot without doing much.
She
and
does
that
have to
came
emote a lot, absolutely.
Into it.
So this got going, this started with a very normal, ordinary scene, didn't it? How would you describe the first scene, Cooks? It was kind of set in a really expensive house.
It's not normal.
Well, no, not normal, but she's kind of just escaping a man.
She is.
It's very stressful.
Very
was,
stressful.
wasn't it? Well, that's what I was driving at. And how stressful was it?
I was
On a
like,
scale of 1 to 10. Oh, sorry. What did you
10.
think? Yeah, I would say so. 2 cooks.
Without them doing anything clever or tricksy, I thought, shitting hell, I'm absolutely pooing myself.
Yeah, and my
and
heart's
then
going like
when
that.
she walks into the dog's bowl, and it's the loudest sound.
Yes.
Loudest jump scare, first jump scare of the film was a dog's bowl being kicked.
I've never seen Dad jump like that.
I know.
Oh, really?
I nearly broke my thumb. It was that hard. I don't know what I did. I think I took the person behind his
he'd
eye
given
out.
us nothing and we knew nothing at that stage. That was amazing.
The director did a film, interestingly, last year called Upgrade, which I didn't get to see. I don't know if you remember, there's a trailer about a man who's sort of like AI biotech. He's made fast. And apparently it was one of the B-movie hits of last year. Apparently very inventive. In fact, it's something we should watch on
I'd like
Catch
to
Up.
see that, yeah.
He also did Insidious 3, and
do
he
you know
wrote
Insidious?
and he wrote Insidious 1, and he wrote Insidious 2, and he wrote Saw 2, Saw 3.
Wow.
So he has real horror
The
bones.
Saw film? Oh,
he
he
wrote
has?
the Saw films. He didn't direct them, he wrote them. It felt like from the get-go that we were really in the hands of someone who kind of was in control of his material. Didn't you feel? You know how sometimes you can get, like with, what was it, Happy Death Day or Truth or Dare? It's kind
Got
of like,
a thing
it's
against
almost,
those films.
well no, but you
No, I
get
know.
such a formula. And when I saw it was Blumhouse at the beginning, I was thinking, oh please, I don't want that first shock, and then it's this, and then we kind of calm down, and then we do that. And it just built from the dog bowl onwards.
Yeah, it did. It actually did.
Okay, so essentially the premise is she's escaping from an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
He then allegedly kills himself.
Yes.
And she kind of then goes through the process of wondering whether she's going mad or is actually being hounded and
Wanted
chased
and
and haunted by him because he was an optics
Absolutely
expert.
invisible.
He was an optics expert, and so has the capacity potentially to create a suit of invisibility.
Now, I don't know about you, but I thought that was an amazingly sort of inventive way to show an invisible man. Considering we all, I mean, those of us of my generation and yours, not Kiki's, but know how naff that whole thing was of having to wrap somebody up in bandages. It amazes me that in a way they haven't tried the invisibility thing before, because that worked really well, I thought, with the fact that he was bits and pieces of optical stuff.
Yeah. Right, well, you do know that apparently technology has moved so far that within the suit that he's wearing...
You're going to tell me you're invisible.
No, yeah. My brother is sat next to me. You see him? No, within the suit that he's wearing, there is a lot of truth in that the technology that the army has developed has these kind of rolling camera type stuff that creates a sheen and on planes. So seriously, no, I think what they've done is, what I liked about the tech in this film is that obviously they can't yet get to invisibility.
No.
But it's the burgeoning technology of what they are using to get to invisibility for planes that can't be detected. So I like that. I kind of bought into all of that. What I didn't buy into though, and this was a bit of a flaw for me, was that if he was such an optics expert, everyone who was friends with Elisabeth Moss would have believed that he was invisible. Because he would have shown off about his tech, surely.
No, because he was saving that to be abusive, I think.
Oh, do you? That was all secrets, like a dungeon.
Yeah, he lived in like a woods, I suppose.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, he lived in. I like that it's set in San Francisco. His incredibly palatial place is on a cliffside overlooking the Pacific,
which looked like somebody's house.
So we're in Silicon Valley, which I can't get is again meaningful because of course that's where tech is and all that kind of stuff. But then she moves in with a family, which I think was your weakest part of the film, Coots, from what you said.
Yeah, I just didn't believe their relationship.
I think pretty much it would.
What was their relationship? Were they friends? Was it a family friend?
I don't know.
We didn't really know, did we? But
well, I was really confused to begin with. I thought, what is he? A partner, a boyfriend? What, I didn't get it. She gave him a present.
No, I knew he was a friend rather than a sort of romantic interest. But I didn't think he was very good.
And
I thought he was good. I just didn't believe any.
Yeah, you like the girl because the actress as well as an actress. What do we know that actress from?
Wrinkle in Time, Euphoria.
Wrinkle in Time, Euphoria. Storm Reid.
When They See Her, she's in there.
That's right. She's in a lot. She's really coming through. Actually, that actress, Storm Reid.
Okay.
I agree with you. I thought they were both very good, but I didn't buy into their relationship at all. What was the first sign that we saw of the Invisible Man in the flat? Can you remember? Oh, burning the breakfast.
Yeah.
Remember?
So the knife falls.
Oh no, the knife falls off, but it doesn't
doesn't
hit the floor.
Yeah.
And I thought what started there was a great long list of really clever riffs. What were some of your favourite ones? Yeah, really small things.
But
I thought one of my favourite ones was the fact that we discovered she was being slowly drugged.
Yes.
But you just wouldn't have seen. You didn't see like it going into a glass. No, what other scenes were there?
I hate that bit with the blanket.
I hate
in bed.
That's my
That's
really
my worst
scares me.
nightmare.
Yeah,
if I was asleep and my duvet slowly got pulled off.
And what about the moment with the flashing of the camera?
Yeah,
that was
and
eerie.
taking photos of her asleep.
Oh yes, yeah.
That was really.
It was that mannequin like at the end.
Yeah,
I mean, as if you'd have something like that in the room when you're frightened of.
I thought that was going to just be a vision. So again, you've got these drip. So for a genre film, and let's not beat around the bush. This is a horror, psychological horror genre film.
Yeah.
But because of the invisibility being executed so well, it kind of allowed it to feel a bit supernatural, because then there was that scene where she's thrown around and she looks like she's possessed, doesn't she?
Whoa.
And you said it was really clever, wasn't it? I mean, I really felt the physicality
absolutely
of the scenes where she was being held and thrown and
she
lifted.
did all her own stunts.
Yeah,
as she says in
she did do, which is amazing.
There's one scene where she flew.
Yes.
How the hell? That was a real shock to me.
Okay, Kiki, now describe for us the scene where it really started to ratchet up, where she starts to go into the loft.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She rang his phone.
And it was
the phone is only upstairs.
And you could hear that, but it was really clever again. Yeah, you could hear that.
But rather than the going down to the basement,
so she went up to the loft. Yeah, I could hear you all going. Yeah, of course you'd all go up there.
Yeah.
And then of course she goes up into the loft, and it's in the trailer. She turns around and she throws. Was it?
After sort of quite a long sort of
and
bit.
he messages her saying.
He messages saying that was really eerie, wasn't it?
I thought in terms of conveying the invisibility where he was on the screen to the audience and therefore and also any other person that happened to be around, that was an amazing way of showing that there was a person there. And then I thought he took it one step further by showing you it coming off him as he ran away and right down to 2 drips, and then showing you having washed his hands in the thing. That was all very clever, I thought.
That was clever.
And she was so close to him physically at that point. Was that the closest she'd been to him?
Well, no, there had been the moment on the step. Do you remember where she was breathing breathing.
Oh, that was a good moment.
That was in the trailer.
That was in the trailer, wasn't it? And then you see the breath next. I think that was actually the first time you see anything.
It was, and I thought
the
that
night
was as
before.
scary almost as anything.
We got a quibble though, Universal Pictures.
Oh, quibble?
The shot of the hand going against the condensation on the window. I was waiting for that everywhere. It didn't happen, and I
I
posted
bet we
it on
find
Instagram.
people
Now
who
I feel
saw
like
it
a
and we
fool.
didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe it's in there. Did
Yeah.
anyone see it? Maybe it's in there. What began to happen was we are now in the position of kind of guessing and assuming that all this stuff that's going on is her ex, and it becomes sort of a metaphorical film about domestic abuse and the power struggle between men and women. I think in a weird way, doesn't it? How women,
Absolutely, and the power of the mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've already all the people that are around, like
her
the
friends.
her friends and whatever, are all saying, "Don't let him get to you with your mind. He's obviously dead. We know he's dead, and he's trying to get through to you just with your mind."
Yeah, and I thought she did a really good job, didn't you,
did.
of showing that frustration and that exhaustion. I mean, she looked absolutely. I mean, she was a very unvain performance.
It was.
She looked
Utterly
shockingly tired.
Yeah.
Shockingly stressed, as you would be. Diazepam out of her head, but I thought almost every single moment where you felt the hand of his control. So, like when she went for the job interview and her portfolio wasn't there.
Yeah,
And
that
she's
was
like-
a big one.
And then she passes out, and you discover she's been drugged. The moment that the daughter of her friend suddenly gets hit in the face.
Yes.
That was another huge jump moment, wasn't it? I think it
Yeah.
punched you in nervousness. Of it.
So hard as well.
Yeah, I
So
know.
hard, it was so
I know.
violent, wasn't it? And that was clever because that earmarked what then was to come,
Yes.
which is probably the most shocking moment I can remember in a recent horror film. She suddenly left sat there.
Yeah.
I thought that was so, we were
Yeah,
all
and she
looking,
just like falls into the table.
I couldn't believe it.
I screamed at that point.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
and-
Maddie was so annoyed. She's
Yeah.
like, shut
Oh, right. I mean, it was,
was
so,
so well
shocking.
done.
It was so well done, and it was so. I like to think I know everything that's going to happen before it's going to
Yeah.
happen. I didn't see that happening.
No, I
Did
didn't
you?
see that coming.
I didn't
No,
see
no.
that coming at all.
And also that he held it just long enough with that wooziness on her,
Yeah.
where she knew she'd got the knife. She couldn't believe what had happened as long as we couldn't, as the audience, believed it
Precisely.
had happened. So in that respect, it was a really well done thing.
And then for me, from that moment, we entered what I call the second part of the film, which I really liked, which was kind of her mental state. And the idea that everyone around her thought she was mad.
Yeah.
And that entered a whole different sort of horror film for me, which goes back to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that film Unsane with Claire Foy.
Yeah, which was
Yeah,
good.
it reminded me of that when she was being taken in, that idea that actually we know she's not mad, but actually if you listen to everything she's saying, like she's saying he's in the room,
Yeah.
you're like, well, what would you think if you were just
Yeah,
around her?
exactly,
You had no choice.
exactly.
And I also like the way they've managed to stylistically imbue very simple shots with a lot of menace.
I
So you
know.
would have just empty shots of her looking at empty doorways.
Yes.
But we were stressed. I thought the soundtrack was very powerful.
Yeah.
Do you remember this music at the beginning? Yeah, it had that sort of Hans Zimmer sort of drone, a bit Sicario, a bit.
Yes.
So it made you
Monos.
Yeah, Monos, a bit of Monos, a bit.
I don't know how they did that, just staring at an empty wall.
Well, it's everything that comes before it that imbues
Yeah.
it with that sort of significance.
Well,
It's
we were
just-
all looking for bits
I
to
thought
give
it
us a
was
clue
very
that he was there.
sophisticated. It was
Yeah.
very
It
sophisticated.
was very sophisticated.
And then, of course, she gets into her cell, and there's that whole mental health thing.
By
and
now
the-
she's been sectioned because she's
Yeah,
clearly
yeah,
bomb.
yeah. And then, unfortunately, it kind of deflated. It kind of deflated for me at the very best, very inventive moment, though, where she tries to draw him out of his invisibility, doesn't she? Tries to draw him
Yeah.
towards her because she discovers she's pregnant. How did you describe it as we came out?
It's like a
of
superhero.
it? Just like a suit.
Because his suit looked like a
Yeah.
superhero suit.
But I always think when someone's in a suit like that, they look like a kid at a party.
Yeah, except that I thought,
Well, no, you know, like remember that boy that we used to see at the
Spider-Man.
Yeah, in the overfitting Spider-Man outfit.
but I thought they got round that by just showing bits of it.
Yeah, I like the way it sparkled in and out. Did you feel that was a puncture point for you?
Yeah, I did. For many reasons, it had gone on long enough, that whole sort of bit, but there was no way that you could sort of sustain after that. I mean, she was being asked to do an awful lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and I also found her escape a little bit unbelievable. At some point, someone on CCTV would have seen the amount of policemen he ended up killing or disarming.
Maddie said to me, "Is there any point that it's like the book?" And it's a sweet question because the book is so old-fashioned. It couldn't be less like it, except for one key scene where there's a pistol going down a hall on its own,
Oh, right,
which
that
is in
is
the
quite-
book.
yeah, quite
but
like it, yeah.
because it was so old-fashioned, basically.
And then really, I thought then the film just became a bit kind of sort of horror by numbers.
Yeah.
It then felt a bit long, and it then
Yeah, there were
felt a bit
moments where-
procedural. And we won't go into the absolute sort of twists and turns of who was in that suit, who wasn't in the suit.
Yeah.
But I thought, as I was coming to the end of the film, I did think, oh, hang on a minute, this for a genre horror film, this has made me think a lot about the hashtag Me Too movement.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. It came out the same week that Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
It was coincidental, of course, but
Yes.
you know, it just struck me as that there's a last shot of her looking incredibly empowered.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite a sophisticated riff on female empowerment, women turning
And domestic abuse.
yeah,
and,
yeah,
I
and,
did
and
too.
highlighting all of the kind of prejudices that we have in society against women.
And I thought in the same way as in Joker, you know, Joaquin gives the performance of his life over mental health issues.
Yeah.
I thought Elisabeth Moss gave the performance of her life over, you know, being an abused and battered wife, if you like, because
Yeah, I thought
clearly
she was
he's been
very
absolutely
good.
awful.
Yeah, I thought she was very good. I said
Yeah.
afterwards, I think if they ever have a woman to play the Joker, she should be it.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah.
that sort of,
Yeah, and as you
there's
say,
a
totally-
raggedness to her. Did you feel a sequel was being left in the offing?
Do you? 'Cause
She's
I
got
thought
the
she was
Invisible
gonna kill
Man
herself.
suit in a bag.
She has. Actually.
She's heading off.
Oh, I hope not.
She's going to sort of, I don't know.
So hope
shouldn't
not.
we?
No, they really shouldn't.
so
She's
hope
going to go
not.
and help other women.
No.
She's clearly not averse to sequels, doing Handmaid's Tale 3.
Oh, don't
Could
say
we
that.
be sitting
Poor
with the
Elizabeth.
Invisible Woman 4 in
Don't
about...
forget at this point, well, it is a spoiler review, isn't it? At
Yeah.
this point as the film ends, she's looking in bad, but she's carrying the Invisible Man's baby.
Oh,
I
of
forgot.
course.
I mean, don't forget that.
Maybe that's where it's going to... Maybe she's going to give birth to him, and a bit
half
like Big
invisible and
Little
half
Lies, it's going to be born as a pathological control freak.
Electrical light.
Son of Invisible Man. Son
Yeah.
of Optics Man.
Yes, with one big.
With one big eyeball. She's obviously at some point he's impregnated her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was dealt with very cleverly too.
It
Because
was.
it just made you get you without having to show anything
Non-sensationally,
malevolent or
yeah.
or sexual. It made you think, oh,
What a
horror creep.
what a horror
What's a-
Invisible Man. What a
Not
horrible
the kind of
invisible-
boy you want to bring home
No.
to your mother.
I love the horror genre. I
Yeah,
always
you
have.
do.
Donkeys years ago, Halloween, I felt was one of the first films ever that had this thing where you never know where the camera's coming from. And so I started my thing, which I'm now very famous for in the family, where I jump out of my skin,
Yeah.
literally, because you never knew where the camera.
You're
But
great
I
on-
felt
you're
that
great on
all these
failure
years
reactions.
later, this film, you know,
Reinvigorated it.
Reinvigorated it, because you'd think I'd know where the bloody camera was
Yeah,
coming from
I
by
thought
now.
you would too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't, and it made me jump every time to the point I don't usually scream.
You're
I
a
scream
great-
at this film.
You're a great viewer. You're a director's dream, though.
Yeah.
You really are, because every new expence, it's like the first time you've ever
Have you ever
experienced
seen
it.
it? Yeah, all right.
No, like
just
she could
skating
have
over-
turned on the tap and Nan would go.
Yeah, it's so true.
So
Yeah.
for all the sort of horror tropes, I thought it was brilliant.
Right.
For Elisabeth Moss, who I'm a huge fan of, and she
Yeah.
can do no wrong for me, and the camera can delay on her face for hours because she's got so many
Yeah.
emotions going on in there.
It's a
She's-
very, yes.
yeah, and she's not
deep.
conventionally attractive, but my God, she's thinking things through.
Oh, she really is. She's working
And
shit out.
she's thinking, I'm not going to do another series of Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
But but no, she's great, and she did all her own stunts. I happen to know this because I read an interview with her. What else can I say about it? It did go off a bit. The family was the weakest point. It was slightly too long, but incredibly brave attempt.
Has the film made you realise that the original book's shit?
No, well, sort of. a bit shit.
What?
Yeah.
Really shit?
Yeah. Because he sort of ends up kicking people in the pants, whereas in this it was a bit more sophisticated.
In the pants?
Well, you know, so everybody can go, oh, you know, it's a bit like a carry-on film. The original
Yes.
film, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
sound very
anyway, this is
horrifying,
more
It's
sophisticated.
far more than being kicked in the pants.
Yeah, so Elisabeth Moss, the music was really good,
The music was
powerful.
great.
It was the right length, except for very slightly too long at the end, went on very slightly. Said about the family. And I would give it, and allowing for the fact that it is a horror film, 100%.
100?
Yes. For a horror film, yeah. I think
Well, the
it's
same as
really
The Colour Out of Space.
And the same as the Joker, yeah.
Wow.
It's the same as the Joker to me, I think. Well, don't let Maddie hear that.
Do you want to go? No, don't, yeah, Mads.
When I saw the trailer. I thought it looked really good, but I wasn't like excited about it. But I was like, I want to see it. I was so stressed throughout the whole film. I wasn't,
it worked on you, didn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it was. I was entertained and stuff. I mean, I found it stressful from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
I thought Elisabeth Moss was like so good.
Yeah.
I thought she was really good at those scenes when he first starts to like haunt her.
Yeah.
She's really good when she like feels his
presence.
in the room.
Yes.
She's like looking.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, she was really strong at that.
Yeah, and the camera, like when she turned around, and was looking straight into the camera.
That first one when you felt something on her neck. Yeah. You're right.
I did find their relationship, the family's relationship, really weak, but I didn't ruin the film for me.
How did you feel about the bit where she was beginning to be thought of as mad? Were you
I just felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it was true, and they just wouldn't believe her.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my god, if I was in that situation.
Yes.
Just to interject for a moment, because there's one point where I said to Maddie next to me, just one person needs to be involved in this for it to be everybody to believe her.
Oh my god, I thought the guy in it was going to die and he was like punching him.
I thought he
No,
was.
I did. I thought he
broke his neck.
I thought he did. Yeah.
I agree. But you felt it lost it at the same point that we did.
Yeah, it was. I think it was too long, and when she threw the paint on him, just as soon as I saw the suit, I was like, oh, it's lost it.
It's a man in a suit.
Yeah.
But it didn't ruin it.
Do you think a man in a suit always just makes you think of Dad at Comic Con?
More or less.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a Hulk outfit.
Yeah, in a Hulk outfit. It kind of kills malevolence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a man in a suit.
So what would you give?
I'd give it like 62 because I did enjoy it.
62.
good.
That's interesting.
I also think it's a really good film to watch with friends if you like horror.
Absolutely.
Because the jump scares are like so
jumpy.
I thought, well, yeah, you're right. I went into this thinking, I hate the Invisible Man. He's never scared me. He's never convinced me. He's really naff. I just want to pull all his bandages off. He's not frightening. The fact that it doesn't surprise me that all he gets up to in the book is he kicks people up the pants. That's as much danger as I thought this film did a really good job of investing just those three words, the Invisible Man,
it's true, actually,
with some real kind of cool malevolence.
Yeah.
I'm with Kiki though. As soon as you saw it was a man in a suit, I thought it a lot. As with all horror, as soon as you see the monster or whatever it is.
But he does hold that for a very long
time. And I think he held it back. And I think again, Kiki's honed in on there's the bits where they're very inventive with how they show him, which is the breath and the steps in the duvet. But there was a little subcategory before that, which you've reminded me of, which is her just acting with nothing.
Yes.
And sensing him, and in a weird way. That was, I think, where this film was at its strongest, in all its suggestions and in all that atmosphere building.
Yeah.
And she was pleasantly surprised. She was acting her socks off. I thought she brought real depth to it. I was surprised by how much it went from genre film to really making me think about gender politics, male control, what it means to be in a domestic abusive relationship. The psychological impact, the inability to make someone believe you, the feeling isolated.
The frustration.
And the control. I thought it was a really clever extension of the metaphor of how a man can control a woman's life.
Yes. From
sending emails, alienating partners, alienating friends, isolating. So I thought, in a weird way, it's almost like a purposefully extreme fable of domestic abuse.
Yeah, it was. That's a very good way.
And in that sense, I think it's quite a rich film. So, and it managed to run away from sort of straight genre.
Yeah, it did.
It got bogged down in all that nonsense towards the end. But it was helped by even the small parts, like the brother. I thought was a very strong performance from him.
The sister, she was incredibly good. And and I have to say, a moment in the middle of the film that shocked me so much. I was literally let forward, like, what? And we were all kind of flailing around like it had happened to us. So I thought that was clever. Yeah. I wouldn't go as low as Kiki, and I wouldn't go as high as you, but I'd probably give this 87. Okay, Mark, you're invisible and we can't see you. Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah. Certainly worth a Friday night out at the cinema. Definitely worth Friday night out, as long as there's no coronavirus in the neighbourhood.
For more film and family fun, don't forget to click the subscribe button and make sure to click the bell to never miss an update.